Hello my foodie friends and welcome back to In the Kitchen with Karen. Is it just me or have you guys been seeing this viral trend on TikTok and YouTube shorts about this feta pasta? It's where you take feta cheese and cherry tomatoes and basil and you bake it in the oven and then you toss it with pasta. It looks so good. I've really been wanting to try it. So I'm gonna do that today, but the difference is I'm gonna be making homemade pasta with my pasta machine that I won from Christina at Charisma's Extras. So let's get cooking. So when you're making pasta, you don't want to use cold eggs. So what I've done is I just took some water and put the eggs in a glass dish and I microwaved it for 90 seconds to warm up the water, and I just left these in there for a few minutes to warm up. And now I've taken my 1 cup plus 2 tablespoons of flour and put it on my cutting board, and I made a big well in the middle. And now we're going to crack in the eggs. And I made that into a thick dough, and now I am rolling it out, and I'm not rolling it, but I'm just kneading it out for about 5 minutes, and it's supposed to get smooth and elastic. Now you see how it's starting to get nice and smooth looking? So I'm just going to knead this a couple more minutes, and then after I am done kneading it, it has to rest for about 20 minutes so the glutens in the flour can relax. And now you'll know when it's almost ready because it's not going to stick to your hand. Okay, now that our ball of dough is nice and smooth, we're going to cover it with a towel and let it rest for 20 to 30 minutes. And now while our pasta dough is resting, I'm going to get together our pasta sauce ingredients. We're going to need a 4-ounce container of crumbled feta cheese, or you can just get 1 big block, but I already have the crumbled, so that's what I'm using. And just put that in the center. And now we're gonna take some cherry tomatoes. I have these left over from when I made my caprese skewers, and just put those around the cheese. You can use whatever color tomatoes you like. And now we're going to drizzle this with 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. And now we're going to put a generous sprinkling of dried oregano on the top. And now we're going to bake this in a 400-degree oven for approximately 30 minutes, or until the cheese is a light golden brown and the tomatoes have started to blister. So our dough has been resting for 30 minutes, and now what you want to do is flatten it out into a little disc like this, and now we're going to cut it into 4 equal pieces. And now each one of these pieces we are going to shape into a little square. And make sure it's not sticky, just add enough flour to it to where it's not sticking to the board. Okay, now that we have these flattened, we're gonna put them through the machine. And hopefully this is gonna work because this is my first time trying this machine. Now there's a dial on the side here with numbers from 1 to 10, and I'm gonna start it on an 8. So the higher the number, the thicker the dough.
It's working. Is that how it's supposed to go?
Yes. Okay, now we're going to put our setting to a number 6. And now we're just going to do it one more time on the number 3 setting. gonna put it on the cutting part. Now it's just to kind of coat them in flour so they don't stick. Like this. Okay, so I put all of the pieces of dough in there, and now I'm just kind of trying to separate the noodles with a little bit of flour. Now it's okay if some of them stick because they're gonna separate when they go in the boiling water, but just try to separate as best as you can. And now we're gonna take a big pot of water and generously salt it, and we're gonna cook these noodles for about 2 to 3 minutes. Because it's fresh pasta, it does not take long at all. Our pasta's been cooking for 2 to 3 minutes, and this is what it looks like. And now I'm gonna pour it into our cheese and tomato mixture. And now we're gonna toss it around with the cheese. And also we're gonna be adding a 1/4 cup of chopped kalamata olives. Now make sure you rinse these off before you use them because they tend to be a little on the salty side. And we also have the feta cheese in there, so we don't want it to be too salty. And now the original recipe called for 4 cloves of garlic. But instead, I found this new product at the grocery store. It's already roasted garlic paste, so I thought we would try that in our pasta today. 1 teaspoon equals 1 clove of garlic. And I'm gonna do 4 teaspoons. Now we're gonna add a 1/2 cup of chopped fresh basil. Oh, you guys, it smells so good. Okay, and there we have it, my version of the Tik Tok Feta pasta dish. Let's plate it up and see how it tastes. Okay, you know what time it is. Time for me to try a bite. Now I tried to get a little of everything on my fork, the noodles, the tomato, the olive, the basil. So good. Boy, making homemade pasta makes all the difference. It is such a great texture. It's got more like body to it than just normal packaged dry pasta, and it also has more flavor. So this Tik Tok recipe, I'm giving it a 9 out of 10. It's really good. The roasted garlic, you can taste the roasted garlic paste. It's not too salty from the feta. I was a little worried about that, but it's perfect. Now I'm even thinking next time I'm gonna grill some shrimp and put that on top, or you could grill some chicken and make it even more of like a main dish dinner. But it is amazing, you guys. Now I wanna thank again Christina from Charisma's Extras for giving me the pasta maker. It was so fun to use. Now I gotta admit, it was a little hard at first. But since it was the first time I did it, I'm pretty pleased with how the pasta came out, and I'm sure I'll do better next time. And I also want to thank Daniela over at Black Cat Kitchen. She is Italian and she makes the best Italian dishes, and I watched her make homemade pasta with a pasta machine, so I got a lot of tips from her. So if you guys haven't checked her out, I'm going to put a link down below so you can go subscribe to her. And I want to thank you guys for being here. Give me a like. If you haven't subscribed yet, I'd really appreciate it, and we will see you on the next episode. Bye, everybody. And now we're going to crack the 2 eggs inside the flour. Now, as you can see, the egg is escaping from my well, but that's okay. And now she suggests beating the eggs. Oh, come back.
Failed.
Why did it do that?